And my word of the day is kind of a little bit of story time mixed with a word of the day. Okay? So I just wanted to touch on, getting to know the younger version of you that may have not healed, or the younger version of you that may still be a work in progress. Hello. And I've channeled into that this week a lot, and it's really, really strange, and it's something I didn't think was actually going to be helpful at all. But earlier, I was speaking about how I bought an old children's book that my mother used to read me when I was like 4 years old. And I don't remember this book at all. I don't remember, how it went. I don't even remember the front picture of the book. But I decided to buy it. And I started reading it to myself. And I was reading it and I was just thinking like, wow, like this is something when I was 4 years old, I used to fall asleep to, and every night. And it's so weird that I wouldn't remember something like that. And my mom and me have had an up and down relationship my entire life. So it's very like, it was kind of representing a time when everything was pure and when I was joyful about the little things as a kid. And I realized how important it is to kind of keep in touch with the old version of you and kind of like talk to the child in you a little bit. Because I feel like sometimes we just grow up so fast, and sometimes we don't have a moment to really heal certain wounds, like I said, heal certain wounds and certain issues that we've had growing up. So sometimes like something small like that is a major key in helping you get past a certain situation or get past a certain thing that's holding you back. Now, apart from that, I also was told by my dad, and this was out of nowhere. We were just having a conversation. This has never come up in my 27 years of living, okay? He said that when I was a newborn, the only thing that would make me go to sleep was Joe Sample. And it is the most random thing in the world. And at the time, I actually had heard of Joe Sample, but I hadn't listened to his music like that, right? So I'm thinking, 90s Joe Sample, what does that even sound like? And I don't know why, but as soon as I hung up the phone with him, I literally downloaded the 2 albums of Joe Sample. And I played it while I was cooking and cleaning. And it made me happy because it was like, wow, I am getting closer to understanding my younger self, understanding what soothed me, what made me happy at the time, even though I was so young. I was maybe somewhere between 1 and 4. I was so young, too young to remember. I feel like sometimes helping yourself remember certain things is actually good for you. But yeah, I was always that kid that would play by myself in elementary school, kindergarten. I was always the kid that would come out during recess or lunch, and I'd go grab sticks from the side of the field, and I would go into the middle of the field. And this wasn't like a grass field, this was a sand field, so it wasn't that fancy, but it was a sand field. And I remember going and tracing little boxes and pretending it was my home, pretending it was my house. And I would literally build little hallways to connect my houses to each other, and I would be having the best time. And it was so small, but somehow it made so much sense to me at the time. And I feel like I was purely creative, and my creative nature was so genuine, and the way I made things with my hands, the way I created things, and the way that I was joyful was just so pure. And when I think about it, like, I miss it. I miss things like that. I miss those little moments when something so small meant so much to me. And I have to really really dig deep to go back to those places, because sometimes within those places there are things you really want to remember, and there's also things you really want to forget. And I think both of them hold the same impact. They're both important. Remembering the things you loved and remembering the things that hurt you, I think, are kind of the key to moving on in your adult life. And we forget all about that. We forget all about those things. We forget they're important. We forget that, as an adult, jealousy might have been a thing when I was a child, that I would get jealous. Maybe I got jealous that my sister got the new toys, and maybe that was something that I already had in me for a long time, and I just never really confronted it, right? And then getting older, I start to have to confront things as a grown adult, when there's a lot more responsibility put on my plate and there's a lot more things I need to keep in mind. It makes it harder for a grown person to actually get rid of those bad traits, which is why they say when you're 40, 50 years old, what do they say? They're like, you're never going to change, right? And they say that because you've just created this habit since you were a kid of doing things a very specific way. So whether it's good or bad, memories as a kid, it's good to go back, and therapists do it. You go sit down with a therapist, what are they going to say? Well, how was your childhood, right? There's a reason they go into that. I am not one to really, I've tried to do therapy before. I feel like you have to pick a really good therapist to make it work. But I'm a hit and miss with it. I think it's important for people to get in touch with their thoughts. If you can create that place for yourself to really observe you on a constant basis and practice that, then yeah, I don't think you may not even need a therapist, but I think therapy is just good to kind of set some goals for yourself to go back into your life and look. But if you are reflective naturally, you may not have that problem. It may be a lot easier for you to be in touch with that part of you. You may understand yourself a lot more than you would have had you not done that. So yeah, guys, that's what I think. I think it's important to speak to your younger self and just be completely open and honest with you about the things that you never really grew out of. Be honest about the fact that you never grew out of some things, and also be honest with the fact that you are yearning for a joy that you had when you were a child. You're yearning for a type of joy, a type of affection, a type of recognition. You know what I mean? Recognition. You want people to love you. You want people to see you. You wanted your parents to spend time with you. You wanted them to want to spend time with you. So it's you think about things like that, and you get older and you realize you play it out with grown people, and it's the same stuff. I'm noticing that about me in so many ways. Just listening to a song, just reading a book. If you know anything about yourself that your parents have let you know, or your brothers or sisters mentioned to you, and they tell you, oh, I remember when you used to always play at this park down the street from the house, and go to the park and just live in the moment of being somewhere that once was your past, kind of revel in it a little bit and see if you can find any missing pieces of your youth and missing pieces of who you really are and what you represent as a human. I just felt like it was an important message, and when I spoke to myself about it, I realized, wow, this is something that people don't think about on a regular basis. This is something that is ultimately holding us back from so many things in life. And that's why people do so many terrible things, because they literally are still immature in their brain, and they're still in grade one when their teacher dumped out all their papers on the desk, and they felt attacked by that. And it's they grew up thinking, I'm not going to let anyone do that to me again. And you're fighting something that happened to you so long ago, and it's become a thing where you're 30 years old and you're fighting everybody, and you don't want anyone to make you feel invaluable again, right? Devalued, or just kind of swept under the rug. So you're the person that's extra defensive. And that's the thing, right? No one would know that they're doing it. And some people never know. Some people die not knowing that they literally are battling something that came from when they were a kid. So that's basically my word of the day, guys. I don't know, but hopefully this video is gonna help you feel closer to you and help you kind of think about like what it is that makes you, and what it is that drives you, and what it is that you yearn for. I miss being joyful. That's my thing. I miss being joyful. I miss jumping around, dancing with just having no intention in pleasing anyone, feeling good, feeling pure. I miss that. I miss joy. I miss that. I miss the joy of watching a movie with my family and feeling full. I miss dancing with my sister. I miss being silly and not concerning myself with the outside world. I miss it. And I think that's why so many people are introverts. But it's important to reflect. It's really all that it is, reflecting. I know what it is that I miss. I know what it is that I'm looking for in my life. I'm looking for a type of joy that I may only find in certain things. And those things may consist of things in my childhood, right? Gotta search, gotta look, gotta go for that walk, gotta talk to that person that I used to talk to in elementary school. That was my best friend. Someone who was my best friend in elementary school and high school, give them a call and just be like, hey, like, do you remember this? You know, bring them that peace also. Bring people that peace that you were searching for, you know? Anyway, I love you guys, and I hope that you're having a good day, and I hope that this shines some light on the craziness in the world. It is going to pass, and when it does pass, you're going to have this open window of opportunity to create joy in your life, to create peace, to go back. Right now is kind of the in-between where you can stay home and you can really think about the things that you want to do, and you can really think about the things that while you are home you can do, and yeah, gives you something valuable to look forward to. Okay, guys, love you. Mwah. Have a great day. Thanks for holding it down. Okay, bye.